A very big thank you for staying with us. It is still iBrand Daybreak, and we're moving to the main conversation this morning, where since the announcement of the removal of fuel subsidy by the federal government on May 29th, many Nigerians have been adjusting their lifestyles, even as the new normal has evidently crashed their purchasing power. The removal of the subsidy led to an increase of almost 200% in petrol prices nationwide. Critics of the fuel subsidy removal argue that it will further weaken the purchasing power of Nigerians and impoverish more citizens in a country where almost half of the population is poor. Despite the widespread outcry trailing the removal of the subsidy in the country, the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited has insisted that there will not be a reversal of the policy, as there is no cash backup to offset the subsidy payment for the month of June. And to have this conversation with us this morning is Prince Adebayo Adeniji Adele. He is National President of Citizens Liberation Initiative. Good morning, sir. You're welcome.
Good morning. And good morning, Mr. George.
Good morning, sir.
Well, let me correct an impression. It is Adebola, not Adeni.
Okay, yes. Forgive me, sir, for that.
No problem.
All right, let's just move on. Let's look at the aftermath of the petrol subsidy removal. Yeah. The obvious is that, like I mentioned, a lot of people have had to adjust their lifestyle because purchasing power has drastically reduced, and a lot of effects that might not be very obvious to the eye. But let us look at it from your own point of view.
Well, let us begin this way. Do we have subsidy?
It's been removed.
Okay. Initially, is there any subsidy at all? If there is, who are the beneficiary? If there is none, why are they collecting money of it? See, Nigeria, as far from the government and the citizens, were far from the truth. I need to be told this morning. Why? Some people will hate me, some people will like me, and some people will follow what I'm saying this morning and see that this man is saying the correct thing. What is there is that those who are delaying putting this country into the max are the dealers, those petroleum people. See, we need to fear God, no matter how. Those money, where are they keeping it? You could remember that young man who has been in the National Assembly for 5 times, Honorable Farouk Lawal, who I believe now is in prison because of his attitudes and his behaviors toward this subsidy we are talking about. There's a committee that was set up by the National Assembly, and he was the chairman. That he knows that the money is just going to drains. Some people will say, okay, they lifted 500 million, 100 million liters. Where are the liters? Okay? Then they now see that these people are just eating this money. That's why they call them cabal. Those cabals are just recruiting money to themselves. In other words, the man noticed that there is a fraud somewhere. And he wanted to indict some people. They now bribe him. He don't know where to keep the money because they don't want them to search him to see the money. He now put the money inside the cab. Inside the cab, he could remember that time, and somebody now reported him that this man collect bribe from us, we the dealers of this petroleum something. That make him to be in prison today. So they should learn from there. See, there's nothing called subsidy. Who are the beneficiaries? And it's to cushion the effect of the citizens of this country. But we did not see it. But you see how the transportation or transported people are so exogenous in this country. When the fuel was 92 naira or 96 naira something, no, 98 naira, sorry. When Jonathan pushed it to that extent, as today, during that years, today, this is Ilea is coming now, go to Beggar. That we are lifting up for how much is 500 naira. That time, other 400 from 500 naira. And they now jump it up to 1,007, 1,000, 2,000. Why? The Odo is around. What is this? Fuel did not go up, did not increase fuel, and you just put any price of whatever you want to it. And that is what is happening now. When they remove subsidy, you know those petrol people still have petrol inside their tankers. And they quickly increase it, the price, which they have not taken another one. So that's why I said, this country, we need the orientation to ourselves, this country.
All right, you put the blame at the doorstep of the petroleum dealers.
Yes, I do.
All right. Okay, what about this statement quoted by the president himself?
Okay.
By saying that he delayed petrol subsidy removal to allow Tinubu win the election. Excuse me.
Okay.
If this is not an unguarded and very insensitive statement, I don't know what that is. Because is it not clear by this kind of statement that whatever actions that the then administration, and of course by virtue of still being the same ruling party, came up with wasn't for the interest of the people, if such a statement by the president can be made?
God bless you. See, we have been looking at that statement this morning. We sat down and began to watch that statement. That statement is barbaric. It's not something that's supposed to come out from the president at all. You know, do you remember that Mr. President is the Minister of Petroleum? You remember? Then, if you're thinking that he was carrying Nigerians' money to the dogs by giving that money for that subsidy we are talking about, subsidy, you did not see those who are collecting it. You have not seen paper that used it to collect it, and you are still draining money to that place. See, that statement this morning showed clearly to me that Muhammadu Buhari is part of the problem we have in this country. By heading that subsidy that he don't wanted to give them money, he sees it for the party to win election. Do you know that it is not subsidy they are using to win election? It is money. They use money to win election. My dear brother, there's nobody you will see they wanted to vote for that will say go to filling station to go and collect fuel. No, it is the money. And that money is a Mayfield stores.
Okay, now you say it is barbaric for him to have made that statement.
Accessories.
But are you also aware that the current administration cannot escape from that same blame because he was part of those that imposed Buhari on us?
Yes, agreed. But sometimes the Nigerian people said, we will show you to a place where you will work. We not left you for yourself to go there. Either you do bad or not, it is not left to you. If Tinubu did not mean good for this country by removing that subsidy, he will not mention it. He will not stood by it that I've said it is gone and is gone. That is gone is feeling some people did not like it. And that is what Nigeria wants now. See, where is the money? There are some things that happened in 1979, which I want government to learn from this money, if they are listening to me. That the palliative of that subsidy, when we are realizing not less than 800 billion, it is just in the hands of some people. Given every month, let them use it to be a palliative of a mini market. My brother, a mini market in some CDAs. Okay? They will use that thing to push in the palliative for this first subsidy. It will work. That time, in that 1979 to 1980, they will go to that mini market to buy what government gives to them. They will have a market. Maybe once in a week or twice in a week. Not everyday market. You go there, the government has zone priority, will fall down what those people in the market.
More like subsidy again?
No. That money of that subsidy, that 800 billion, they will use it to market price of goods to Nigerians.
More like subsidy, because it will not be like the conventional market.
The money without, now they have removed it from, they have removed the subsidy now. Now they will now use that money they are paying for subsidy to use it for a mini market for Nigeria.
And that's what you're saying, because when you say it is not going to be the usual price that we buy from the market, so it's going to be subsidy again.
The government that owns the money. Government owns the money, and you go there at the price that government will give you to buy. Not that you can't put any other person, or you can't collect card of another person to buy it. It is you that will take your card to that mini market and buy whatever you want at the rate of the government. You pay to the government, then let it be like that. You now see those people. What happened? Why RAM now turns to 1.2 million in the market, 700,000 in the market? You see, now that I was coming now, listening to them, they are taking Ibadan on my phone. They are taking Ibadan.
2,000.
Oh, madam, this money. What? So what is it?